Well, I've been doing some work to the interior of my pickup truck, and I have a set of seats that are bucket seats, the 40-20-40 seats, and I pulled them out of an extended cab, and I knew the mounting was different, but I just figured it'd be no big deal, I can make it work. Well, as I'm getting ready to figure out what I'm going to do here, it's not going to be that simple. So unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to run to the salvage yard and see what I can find. Hopefully there's still something out there. They've been crushing a lot of cars lately. It's like anything could be made to work, but be hacking holes in it, and like down there, the angle's like not even close to being right. And then I'm down in a drip channel, and I just don't want to make it such a hack job. So guess I'm on my way to the salvage yard. Unfortunately, it looks like someone got here before me because I'm missing the driver's side rails. It's the way it usually works. Looking at the rails in the newer truck, it's making me wonder if I can't make those work. Okay, back from the salvage yard. I managed to find the one single cab OBS Ford pickup truck that had bucket seats in it, and it still had the seat pan, and it had one of the sets of slides. There was still a seat on them. Unfortunately, the driver's seat was the one that was missing. Someone must have needed a seat and snatched it, so I took what I could get, and there was a newer body style truck, Ford, sitting next to this one. So I got to looking at it, and it looked like the holes would line up pretty close, if not completely, at least for the seat. I mean, they're about maybe a ½ inch to an inch off where it mounts to the plate. But between this and the other existing set of slides I have, I think I can make something work. Something else out there I was kind of surprised to find was a pretty decent condition blue headliner. Doesn't have any rips or anything. Could use a little bit of cleaning. I was kind of happy to find that. Looked for one of those for a while, and they're either the wrong color or they're completely destroyed. So that was a good find. Okay, as far as the newer model seats, where the seat bolts to the slide is the same as on the original seat slides. The difference is where the slide bolts to the plate. You can see that or not. Better camera angle here. But they're about a ½ inch to an inch wider on the original. So I'll have to drill some holes in here. I mean, you could do it either way. You could either drill a hole in the original pan, or you can drill a hole in the slide and move these bolts over. I prefer to just do it in the slide and not drill up the original. So I'm going to do that. I already did it on my other one. Basically what it is kind of a little stud that goes in there. So what you do is you get a soft hammer, it's a brass hammer. You don't want to use anything too hard. I suppose you could if you have the nut on there, but I prefer to always use a brass hammer if I'm pounding stuff out like this. And then clear up the edge of this board. Move that off. Put the racket. And get it there, and then you just give it a swift smack. It'll pop it right out of there. And I'll pop it right out. And then I can measure, figure out what I need to, where I need to drill it, and on both sides, drill the hole. Just make sure you do it on the same end. On both sides, just confirm that you've got it in the right spot. But I could drill the hole and then put that stud back in, and it should bolt right in like it was made for it. An easy way to figure out where your hole is going to go is you can, after you've got the stud popped out on the one side, you can stick it in the holes and get it lined up, and then take some spray paint and just shoot the back side of the panel, and it'll leave a mark right on your spot right where you need to drill. Okay, this is what it looks like once you get the new hole drilled. You can see it from the top. This is the old hole, and there's some splines on that stud there, kind of like on this one here. And once you get your hole drilled the proper size, then the way I did it was just put a socket there. You set it like that. You got kind of a decent sized punch and a big hammer, and just put the punch on there and just pop it once, and usually you'll get it. Maybe you can hit it a couple times, but went in there and it almost like it was like it came from the factory that way. So on to the next one. Okay, and the brackets from the newer body style, they're going to need to be tweaked because, okay, the adjustment handle for the newer body style seat is going to need to be bent a little bit, because in its current shape it's going to hit the mounting pan for the seats, and it slightly pulls up on it, and it'll be kind of halfway engaged to slide the seat back and forth. That, and it'll be rubbing up against that and probably rattle, make noise or something. So basically how I'm going to take care of that is just take a board, 4x4, and a big hammer, and then just kind of tweak it a little bit. And it'll probably take a little bit of finagling, but just have to mess with it until you get it in the right position. Okay, I got the slides for the newer body style F-150 modified, and I got them loosely mounted to the seat pan. And I'm gonna have to mess with it a little bit more. I may need to do some more modifications to the seat adjustment. exactly sure. Yeah, it looks like I got clearance there. It's rubbing right here a little bit, so the other seats must have been a little bit wider. So I'm gonna have to do some more modifications to this adjustment handle, but I think everything is gonna work okay. Like I said, the seat holes line up perfectly, so now I just need to get the holes tapped on the seat, do a little work to this, and see how it goes. Something else you may need to do is tap out one of the existing holes on the seat, because in my case, the slides that were on this seat, which were for the extended cab, used a different hole. The hole I need is this one. Unfortunately, the holes are there, it's just they don't tap them, so you'll have to tap that out to the whatever threads you have. Something I'm gonna need to do is trim these teeth down that come up through. The reason being is because the amount of travel needed to get those to pull out of the holes is much further than I'm going to be able to get with this thing installed with the seat. So by trimming these teeth off so they're not sticking through as far, I'll be able to lessen the amount of travel I need to get these out so I can adjust the seat. So I'm just gonna trim those off with the die grinder. There's another thing I discovered while going to put this side on the seat. This is the one that had the seat belt portion on it that I had to cut off. This little hump here kind of interferes with the seat, so I'm gonna have to grind that little hump out of there to make the seat fit properly. Well, it seems the surprises never end. After going to the salvage yard, getting the seat pan and everything I needed, so I started just kind of putting the seats on, kind of figuring out how I'm going to do this, and I noticed the blue seat here, which is the one I already had, doesn't fit on the floor pan for the single cab truck, because it came out of a extended cab, and it never crossed my mind. I just figured it would have the same bolt pattern, but it doesn't. So I ran out this morning and grabbed the seat that was on there, and if you look at them, you can see the single cab seat is a little shorter, and the holes you can see where the brackets go. The holes, or I should say the bolts, don't line up to the holes on the floor pan. So I went ahead and ran and got the other one, because I could have probably made this one work with a little bit of fabricating, but like I said, I'd rather just have something that is not hacked up. I'd rather have it just be right. So I'm gonna have to take these two seats and kind of build one good seat out of them, and which I already needed to do some work to this one anyway, so it's not that big of a deal, but you know, probably have to remove that. I didn't even know this one had one of those. One thing this one does have, though, that I noticed, it's got a coin holder, so I guess that's an improvement. So just be aware, if you're going to do this, the quickest, easiest way would be to find a bucket seat set up out of a single cab or a crew cab truck that you can just unbolt and bolt right in. Start mixing and matching from different years and different body styles. There's some variables in there that can kind of slow you down. All right, I'm getting ready to tear this seat apart here. First thing you have to do is pop the cloth off. They just kind of snap over that metal lid there. And then there's 4 bolts, 2 on this side, 2 over here, and that holds what appears to be, it holds the whole back piece on, which you have to get off in order to get the cloth and the cushions off. So I'm gonna pop those off with the impact. Should just pull right out of here. At least that's the hope. Wraps around in there a little further than I thought. Alright, that's out of the way. That's pretty easy. I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint this thing since I have it off. Unfortunately, my little hinge covers are pretty much all busted. They're kind of hard to find that aren't busted, so I'm going to see if I can't glue them back together, maybe fiberglass them in the back, and then I'll have to put some maybe body filler or something on them and paint them, try to get them presentable, and I'll put those back on there. Just have to see how that goes though. Well, I finally got the seats completely installed, and it was definitely a lot more work than I was anticipating. I was thinking it would be a little simpler of a swap than what it was, but I do got everything in there. I've done some other stuff too. I've added some sound deadening material and remounted my subwoofer box. These covers, I haven't gotten around to fixing them yet. That's probably one of the next things I'm going to do. Maybe I'll make a video on doing that. The console, I took this off. You can kind of tell it looks fresh. I took this off and painted it and got everything cleaned up good because it was pretty bad shape. I mean, this had a bunch of sticky stuff on it, so I had to get that all off. It's kind of a mess, so painting it was probably my only option as far as making it look any better. I do get the lumbar does work on this side. I don't know if you can see it moving or not, but it does work on this side. Of course, the driver's side is not working, so that's going to be a project for another day. As well as there's a cut in the material on that one, and that'll probably be a project that goes along with the lumbar project. So, but overall, I'm happy with it. It's definitely a lot more comfortable, and just it actually has cup holders. My wife would never ride with me in this thing because it didn't have any cup holders, and that always get on her nerves. Oh, the headliner looks good too. Put that in. I used to have just a steel roof, but now I got a headliner in there. Kind of kills some of the noise a little bit in there. So, thanks for watching.